how I felt. Probably felt the same way some of the time and was doing it anyway. His becoming president was a lighthouse in a dark sea to me, signaling with regular frequency the existence of a shoreline and sure footing close by. The inaccessible world of astronomy felt no longer closed to me if the most distinguished appointment in the country was now occupied by a black person. Returning to astronomy with my whole heart meant leaving something behind. A career in acting. Acting and astronomy lit up my life in different ways, and each seemed to demand all of me. When I left astronomy to pour myself into acting, I thought it was for good. But dreams don't die. If left unpursued, they recede and then lie dormant. But they persist, nudge, sometimes elbow you right in the gut and demand to be acknowledged. That's how it was for me. I fell in love with something, and I never really fell out. But it wasn't the only thing. This made life complicated. Is this your story too? There is a type of planet that is very different from the Earth. This type of planet rotates so slowly that the length of its day is the same as the length of its entire year. On one side of the planet, the side facing the star, it's always daytime, and its sun stays fixed and relentless in the sky above at high noon. On the other side, it's perpetually night. Can you imagine the sun never rising where you live? Never setting? Ever? This happens at the poles of the Earth at certain times during the winter and summer months, the sun never dipping above the horizon or never leaving. But eventually, the sun returns to view. Eventually, the sun recedes. Not on this planet. On this planet, the day side, baking under the eternal noon of a different sun, could be too hot to support life. And the frigid night side, bereft of the warmth from its star, could be too cold. But there is a place that life might have a hope of existing on this planet. Along the dividing line between the two halves, a line called the Terminator. Yes, this makes me think of the action-packed films too. And indeed, a movie or TV show is often the catalyst for much in my life. You'll see what I mean. But this is a different kind of Terminator, one far more neutral. My research team calls planets with climates amenable for life only along this boundary line between the two inhospitable extremes, Terminator habitable. We weren't sure if they could exist. We did a lot of work to figure out that they can. I'll tell you about the kind of work soon. First, though, I had to ask the question, could planets exist with this type of climate? I started there. A sense of wonder is always a good place to start. We start out in this life as babies looking out at the world in wonder. We discover things we like, things we don't like, and things we love. We make a choice and try to create a future with it that fills us up inside. Along the way, life happens. We might abandon some of those loves to support ourselves and our families financially, or because what we wanted to do doesn't seem possible. Because it's too hard, or it's too late, or it doesn't make sense. No one's ever done it before. Does any of that ring true for you? I wrote this book for you, so that you know that it isn't too late to have what you really want in this life, whatever that is, and whatever you perceive as obstacles blocking your path. You may feel like a rare, magical unicorn at what you are trying to do with the background and set of circumstances that you currently have. But you are not alone. There are other magical unicorns in the meadow. I started my life with one thing, science, astronomy to be specific, and I dove into it. And then I found something else I liked, the arts, acting to be specific. So I dove into that instead. Neither one by itself felt fully right. I spent a lot of time contemplating how to make them both work. I spent more time wondering if it was even possible to. I'd never seen it done. But I had a hunch that there was no one way to do it, and possibly even more ways than I could imagine. So I took a risk that if the interface between the two worlds felt like home, there would be air.